Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar. My name is Ken with Living Water Digital, and today we're going to talk a little bit about chatbots. So that's going to be kind of cool. A couple of housekeeping items. First, always get the question, yes, this is recorded, and you can come back and watch it anytime, unless it becomes irrelevant, then I'll turn it off. But as long as the info here is good, you'll be able to come back and watch this anytime you want. And it's the same link you got to get here in the first place. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Feedback. After this webinar, you're probably going to get an email from the chamber saying, hey, what did you think about the webinar? We really appreciate your feedback, and we sometimes make adjustments based on that. So, like last webinar, we covered a ton of stuff on Google Analytics, and some people got confused because we went really fast. I get that. There's only so much time in the day to squeeze a ton of info. So I invite you to contact me with any questions you have regarding the subject matter. Also, keep in mind, as you're watching this webinar, if there's something maybe that you don't quite understand or whatever, don't panic or anything like that. You can always come back to this point in the video and watch it later and just, kind of reabsorb it. So with chatbots, there is a ton of stuff you can do. They're pretty cool. And they will help you in your marketing and things of that nature, customer service and so on. So a lot of stuff you can do. I'm going to show you what a chatbot is. I mean, some people probably don't know, but a lot of people do know. So we're going to look at one that I created for our local ham radio club. And then we'll look at a few things it can do. But we'll also build one, step by step, a very simple one. And then that'll kind of give you a taste for how hard it is to do, and it's not really that hard. It requires a little bit of thinking ahead of what you want the bot to do. But once you've got that little kind of a roadmap built of what you want to do, it's pretty easy to implement. And there are some more advanced things you can do. We'll maybe touch on one or two of those things. We won't get real deep. But you can use chatbots for interacting with people who visit your website or your Facebook page. And you can also collect information from them. You can get their name and their email address and ask them for their phone number and stuff like that, so you can contact them later, especially if you're using chatbots with ads and stuff like that that you're paying for. Once you get them into your chatbot ecosystem, you won't have to pay for them again. You'll be able to contact them later. So that's kind of an important thing for marketing and stuff like that. So anyway, let's take a look at a chatbot real quick. And let me just paste and go. This again is our Manitowoc County Lakeshore Amateur Radio Service Club website. Pardon me. And as you can see, as soon as the website loads up, this chatbot pops up and says, hey, how can we help you? And it's asking me to continue on as Ken. That means that it recognizes that I'm actually already logged in to Facebook. So it recognizes me and asks if I want to continue as Ken. And I do. So I'll continue as Ken. And it's got this kind of a welcome screen that pops up here. It gives me a few instructions and then asks me to do something, to take some action. So we've got some buttons here. We've got instructional text, and we've got a little graphic here, kind of an emoji. And we've got some things that people can do. Now, they don't have to do that. They can type any message they want there. And whoever's managing your Facebook page will see this stuff. So that's kind of cool. But I just put a couple of buttons here to give people more information on the things that they usually ask about when they visit our Facebook page or our website. So we've got basic information on the radio club. We've got information on testing for your amateur license. We've got some frequently asked questions that we're still developing that. And then we've got a list of frequencies that kind of guides them to where they can find out where they can tune in to hear people local on the radio here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click one to kind of show you what it does. I'll click Radio Club. And you can see the bot is kind of going through a series of texts here. And you'll notice that the texts are not like one big, long, huge text that's hard to read. It kind of breaks up in a little bit. It tells a little bit about where we're meeting, the location, stuff like that. And so it asks them again, select a topic. And so this is kind of the main menu for the bot. And so this can be anything you want. You can make this any kind of menu you want. You can also incorporate images and stuff. Now, I haven't chosen to do that on this bot. This is kind of a test case for our club. I want to see what everybody thinks about it before I do too much work in it. But you can embed videos, images. If you sell products and stuff, you can have a product gallery that gives information about the product and maybe takes it to the product shop page. You can also actually accept payments through the chatbot if you set that up. Now, we're not going to set that up today. That's a little more involved. It's not terribly hard, but we've only got so much time to do this. So we're going to cover some simple basics. I'm going to show you where to go to do some of this more advanced stuff, and then we'll have some fun that way. So if somebody wanted to learn about testing, they'd click testing, and this gives them a little bit of an information and also a link, so they can click this link and go to that website. Frequently asked questions. We haven't really developed all these things, so I'm kind of priming the pump here. I'm telling them, hey, we're working on this. What would you like to know? Now, whatever they type in here, whatever the question might be, something they'd want to know, that'll be sent to me via Messenger, and I'm going to get an email the way I've set it up. And that way I can come back later and populate our FAQ answers with some of the questions that people are actually asking, which is kind of helpful. Now, people who have been established in business for a while probably have a good idea of questions people ask all the time. In this case, with a ham radio club, we get the full gamut. So I'm going to collect a bunch of these, maybe 20 or 30 of them, and then kind of come up with responses and other info for that. And then I think the next one, let's see, I'm just going to type in something here. Nothing. It's going to ask to share the email address. So I'm going to be able to contact them directly. So this is my email address, me as a user of this bot. I don't have to type it in. I can just click it. And then it says, okay, we'll get an answer to you soon. And then again, back to our main menu. So what happened here was the bot asked for the email address. Now, they didn't have to type it in because Facebook already knows your email address. And as long as you give permission by clicking the button, it'll populate that and send it to the bot owner, which, I'm going to save that. And, when people are asking these questions, I'll go ahead and send them an email back saying, okay, well, here, we found some information for you. So we're going to answer the question directly via email so they know that we're real people. Plus, we're going to save their question into our FAQ system. All right, frequencies is what that is. So it says you'll find local frequencies here, and that's another page on our website that lists the frequencies. So basically, this kind of helps them get some information about the club. That way, I'm not tied up answering questions all the time. Other club members aren't tied up answering questions all the time. This kind of takes that load off of us and gives us a little more insight into what people are actually wanting to know. So that's one of the uses of a chatbot. And that's basically how it works. It's pretty simple. Now, there are a ton of different types of chatbots. Facebook Messenger is one. There are several other third parties that can create this stuff, maybe with a little more advanced programming. Pretty much everybody has Facebook and understands Facebook, so we're going to start here. And if you guys want a more advanced chatbot webinar later, put that feedback in your feedback, and we'll look at doing something like that. But for now, I wanted to keep it simple, wanted to keep it easy, and anybody who has Facebook basically knows that they can build a chatbot and embed it on their website. Easy peasy. Okay, so now that we know a little bit about different types of chatbots, we're going to go to the tool to build them, which is called ChatFuel. So I just typed it here in the search engine, and it's chatfuel.com. You can go directly there. It helps if you're already logged into Facebook before you go here, because what it's going to try and do is attach the bot to one of your pages. So it's asking permission to do that. So yes, it's going to use me, and it's going to ask that it can post messages to my pages, so you can do that. And then once it opens up here, it's probably going to ask you what page to connect to, or you can create a Facebook page. So it's probably better that you have a page already and do it that way. So we're going to pick mine Living Water Digital page and connect that. And sometimes it'll take you to a template like it tried to do there, but now it's going to try and upsell me. But I want to select free here because I'm probably not going to need Pro for a long, long time. I think you can have up to 5,000 users before you have to use Pro. Okay, let's get started. One of the first things I want to do is rename this bot so I distinguish it from all the other ones. Let me go back to the dashboard here. Blank bot connected to my page, and I'll rename that to LWD, Living Water Digital Bot. Done. Okay. I'll click it, and then we're back to where we started. So here's the start. And one of the things I want to do is look at kind of the plan, the overview for what I want to do and what I want to get out of this bot. So I use a mind mapping tool. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. Okay. And so what I've got here is my chatbot. I've got the welcome and the default message blocks. The menu, and we looked at that in that last chatbot real quick, and then artificial intelligence, which this is really not artificial intelligence. It's like sub-intelligence maybe. But basically, if somebody types something in that your bot is not prepared to answer, it's gonna look for other things, and so things that you plug in here might show up, and we'll touch on this real quickly, and I'll show you how that works. But let's work on a couple of different things. So I've got my welcome and default messages that we're going to have to look at, and I got the main menu. And so for this menu, I'm going to keep it kind of simple. I'm going to put in a button for support and a button for sales. They're both going to collect info that I'll need to contact these people. For support, I'm going to presuppose they have an email issue. And of course, I might have 10 or 11 different support items here that people might need, and I would plug that in there. But for the purposes of this webinar, I'm just going to create one flow. So I'll assume they have a problem with an email. I'm going to ask them, have they recently sent bulk email? Because usually that'll get you flagged, and it'll shut your email down for a minute. And then I'm going to tell them, hey, you can find updates on planned service outages and things of that nature on Facebook. And I'll tell them I'll get back to them. And then it'll also notify me. Of course, it's going to notify me via Messenger if I'm plugged into a device. But it's also going to send me an email. I'll show you how that works. Also, sales. I'm going to collect their info and then ask them, how did you find out about us? Tell me about what you're doing now. And what would you like to see happen? I'm going to send that information to a spreadsheet so that I can follow up and track on that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a lead generation type thing that I'm going to be able to keep track of. It's going to notify me that somebody has filled that out. And then after it notifies me, I'm going to take a look at that information, and I'll probably invite them to have a Raspberry Mocha with me. That's one of my favorite things. And so a lot of the first meetings I have with clients will be over a coffee or a Raspberry Mocha, and we'll talk about how digital marketing and stuff like that can help them increase their business or membership or whatever it is they're looking to do. So I'm going to kind of try and stay on track with this stuff and build the bot. And let's get started now with our welcome and default message. And so right now the welcome message is right here. It says welcome message. And then this is kind of like the default text that they put in there. And then our default answer, this is going to be what pops up if they type in something as a response that the bot really doesn't know how to handle, and there's no artificial intelligence to kind of guide the bot to a certain direction. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. This is like wow, we don't have a response for that. So I'm going to change this text here to, okay, you stumped the bot. And a little snarky face or something like that there. How about that? Okay, so we're settling on the text, okay, you've stumped the bot. And after that, we're going to send them to our main menu. Now, we don't have a main menu set up yet, so we're going to have to do that. Let's go ahead and put in this little element here called Go to Block. We'll click that, and I'm going to type in menu. Click Enter and menu. And now you can see it's already created the menu block here. In fact, I'm going to create a group just to keep things organized called menu. Get rid of this. There we go. And I'm going to drag this block right into there just to keep it organized. Now we'll create some other things for this menu later. Right now, we just want for the default answer to be, okay, you stumped the bot, and then we'll send them to the menu. Okay, so that's good enough for now. Let's go ahead to our welcome message. Now this one, it kind of customizes it. It puts the user's first name. So if they're logged into Facebook, it knows what their name is. So it's going to say, hi, whatever your first name is, nice to meet you, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to go ahead and delete all this text because we don't care about it. So hi, let's say I'm Joe, the helper bot, for lack of a better thing. And say, let's just leave it at that, just the welcome message. And maybe we'll put an image in there. Let's click on image, and I want to upload an image. Now I've got a cool image here. Click upload goat. I've got a goat here that says hi. So this is a GIF that I found on the internet. Now you can make your own GIFs and stuff like that, or you can just have a static image, but I wanted an animated image to kind of be more personal, I guess. So there's a little goat that says hi. So this is what they're going to be greeted with when they come to the page. Now it makes more sense, I think, to have this image up here. So I'm going to grab this little thing here and move it up there. Okay, so it says welcome message, hi, the little goat. Hi, I'm Joe, the helper bot. And then after that, I think I'm going to want them to go to this menu here. So I'm going to put in go to block, and I'm going to start typing menu. And it already recognizes there's a block called that, so menu, and that'll get us started. So this is the menu block here, and this is the sequence for the welcome. They'll see this image. They'll say, hi, I'm Joe, the helper bot. And it'll take them to our menu. Now we haven't built the menu yet, so you're not going to see anything, but let's go ahead and test it and see what we've got so far. Okay, so here's the bot. It's in Messenger. Right, so the first time anybody interacts with your bot, if you're using the free version, which I am, it's going to tell them, hey, you're using a free version of ChatFuel, and it's telling me I can upgrade to Pro to remove this message and get some additional features. Now right now I don't need to do that, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip over that, but everyone will see that I'm not using the Pro version of ChatFuel, and I don't care. So there you go. So here's my goat saying hi, and then hi Ken, I'm Joe the helper bot. Now, yeah, I said that it would take us to the menu, but we haven't built the menu, so there's no menu to take them to right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And let's go back to our ChatFuel dashboard. All right, now let's see what we need to put in our menu. Let me look at my little thing here. There we go. So we've taken care of the welcome and default. Here's the menu. Let me kind of expand that. So we've got a couple of choices, support and sales. Those are the two things. So I'm going to create choices for support and sales under the menu. Go ahead and close that. And for the menu, you work on that block, you just click on it. So I'm going to put some text here that says, please select something below. And I'm going to, let me go to Emojipedia here. And this is a cool place where you can find emojis. And you can use them in your chatbot, and that always kind of looks cool. People like that kind of thing. So I'm going to put down, because I want them to look down at those menu items. Thumbs down, no, 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 no. Backhand, I like that one, so I'm going to click there, and I'm going to copy that. Let's go back to our chatbot, and I'm just going to paste it right there. Boom. Okay. Please select something below, and the little hand pointing down. Now below that, we want to have some quick replies And the quick replies are just easy buttons, very simple buttons. And we're going to fill those buttons with information here. I'm going to have one for support and one for sales, and then it'll send them to those blocks. Now, you're noticing here that we have kind of a flow. Everything is pretty linear. So in your bots, as you're going through this flow, you'll notice you start here, and then this, and then this, and then this. But you can also apply logic to that. So if somebody clicks one button, they'll go to one block. If they click another button, they'll go to another block. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to create a quick reply. If they click support, they receive block. And I'm going to call it support. Now I don't have one yet, so I'm just going to call it support. Create support block right there. Okay, so it's created a support block. And I'm also going to give them the option of sales. And so I'm going to call this block sales. All right. So under the menu, they'll have the option to click support or sales. Now they're not, required to do that, but most people will, given the choice. So we've got under the menu block here, choices of sales and support. Now just to keep things organized, I'm going to go ahead and create a group called support. Let me see if I can just highlight that. Okay, and I'm going to drag this block down here under that. And I'm going to create a group called sales, just to keep everything tidy. Otherwise you'll have a ton of blocks that don't make sense. Okay, so here's our menu, and then we've got support and sales as the choices. Now there's nothing in these blocks yet. We'll work on that in a second. But let's test our menus to make sure it's working correctly. Okay, so we'll go ahead and test that bot again. And you can hear it popping up here. So it's giving me that stuff. I'm Joe the Helper Bot. Please select something below. And you can see now it says support or sales. So I can click those, but there'll be nothing there. So it doesn't make sense. I just wanted to make sure that our menu was working. So a little while ago, I talked about AI, or artificial intelligence. I'm going to skip ahead right now and add something to our welcome message that will tell people that I'm Joe the Helper Bot. How about type menu if you get lost? There we go. So now our bot will say type menu if you get lost. So I'm going to go to AI here. A couple of things down, set up AI. I'm going to click that. And I'm going to click menu. I'm going to say if a user says something similar to menu or main menu, or let's say navigation, I can have the bot reply with text, or I can take them to a block. So I'm going to click block and take them to the menu block. And that's it. Okay, so that's set. So if somebody types in anything remotely similar to these phrases, it'll take them to the menu block, which is what we want them to do. And just so we know that that's working, let's go ahead and test our bot again. Okay. And so here's our bot. It says please select something below, support, sales. I'm just going to type in menu, and it's going to take me to the block, support and sales. So there we go. Easy peasy. Go ahead and close that. Go back to our bot. So now we know that if somebody does get lost and something is not covered, they can always type menu and get back to our little user flow that we want here. Okay, so in our menu, we have support and sales. Let's take a look at our mind map here to see where we're going with that. Okay, I'm going to close this right now. So whether somebody clicks support or sales, I'm going to want to get their info. Either way, you can see. So instead of making two different blocks, I'm just going to create one block, and then we'll copy that block over to the sales side. So we'll create it first in support, and then we'll copy it to sales, since both of them need the same info, and that way it'll stop me from having to do it twice. So let's go ahead and click on support, and then we'll ask them a question. We'll tell them about updates on Facebook, and then we'll notify me. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we'll go to the support block. And so we want to get a little information. So we'll add an element, and you don't see it here, but I want to get some user input. So I'll click on user input. And so I want to ask, what is your URL? And with validation, we're not asking for a phone or email or anything like that, so we really don't need any validation. And we want to save that to, let's say, about company URL. And so we'll ask that, and we'll also ask for their email address. Now Facebook already has it, so we'll just see if they will be willing to give it to us. We'll click on user email. So then they'll get a little message that says, please share your email address. And we'll save that to about company email. And saving it to these things here allows me to use it later. So we've got that, we've got their URL, we've got their email. Let me ask the question, have they sent any bulk emails? So I'm going to add some more user input here. Have you sent bulk email recently? No validation. And we'll say company bulk. And so that'll take care of that. And then we'll also let them know that they can get information on our Facebook page. So I'll click text. I'll say sometimes we have planned outages for maintenance, and sometimes other stuff happens. And then I'm going to go ahead and add another text block here. You can find this type of info here, and I'm going to paste my Facebook page URL, so I'll copy that. Now if they're already here on Facebook, they'll already have seen the post that says, hey, we're having issues, or hey, there's a planned maintenance window. But assuming they're looking at my website, this link will allow them to find that information. I'm going to click paste. Put a space there just so it looks better. There we go. And also I'm going to put a little animation here for typing. And I'm going to make it a little less than a second. And that'll kind of make it look more real. Not that we're trying to fool anybody, but it's kind of a natural thing. People see that when they're chatting with someone online. Okay, so again, this is all linear stuff. So they click on the support button. We ask them what's your URL. We save it to this attribute. We ask them to share their email address, which will be saved to this. We ask them, have you sent bulk email recently? I should put a question mark there. And then we save it to that. We tell them, sometimes we have planned maintenance. And then we say, you can find info here. And then I'm going to go ahead and also do another little typing thing for less than a second. And I'll put more text that we're sending Ken your info right away. And then we're going to probably send them to the menu block, I guess. Let's do that. Go to block, menu, so they can make another choice if they need to. And then I need to also send myself an email. So I'm going to say send email. Title, okay, support issue email. Now again, if I was doing this not in a webinar, I'd have maybe several things that they could choose for support issues. Send it to me. But since we're doing it in a webinar, I'm just going to limit it to this thing. in the email body info, I'm going to say, let me do some left brackets, and that was company something or other. Let me see if I can scroll down here. Their company email, comma, left bracket again, company URL, that's their website, bulk email sent, question mark, and then again, bulk. So this is going to send me an email with the headline support issue email to my address, and it's going to say here's the info, and then whatever they typed in for their email, their URL, and whether they have sent bulk email or not, that'll be sent to me. Okay, so that is the support block. Since we're collecting the same information for the sales block, I'm going to go ahead and copy these. So I need their URL for that. Copy that. Copy to the sales block. Copy it. All right. And then we collected their email address. I'm going to copy that as well, so I don't have to retype that stuff in there. So you can see if you've got some similar flows, you can copy and paste those things, and it'll save you a little bit of time. Okay, so we've got the support block completely filled out. Let me just check sales. Okay, so those things popped in there. All right, we've got a support block. Let's go ahead and test our support block just to make sure everything's working as planned. So let me test this bot. Okay, so here's our bot. Here's the helper bot. Here's the support. Let me click on support. What's your URL? It's keniv.com. Please share your email address. There's the button. I'm going to click that. Have you sent bulk email recently? Nope. Tells me we sometimes have planned outages and where I can find more information. And it says we're sending information to me, and select something below. So this is the main menu again. So let's check the email to see if it indeed has sent me any information on that. Okay, so it looks like it has support issue email, and here's the info. Here's the email address I plugged in. Here's the URL and the bulk email sent. My answer was nope. And so now I know that there is a support issue that I need to address, and who it's with and how to take care of it. So that takes care of that. Let's go back to our dashboard. All right, so now that we've got support to take care of, let's take a look at our sales flow. So I'm going to click on sales here, and let me pull up our little mind map here. And let's see, we'll shut that one down. Okay, for sales, we wanted to go through the same thing, get some info, and then ask a few more questions. And then we're going to send that data to a spreadsheet, and then notify me that the data's been sent. And that way later on I can invite them for a Raspberry Mocha. So let's do this part, sales. We want to get the info and ask a few more questions. All right. So these were copied over from the support one. It's the very same thing, so we don't have to do anything else. We're asking for their URL, and we're asking for their email. And we had a couple other questions. One was like, how did you find us? That's kind of important to us. Let's see. Some user input here. We ask how you found us. And that'll help us track, what's working for us as far as advertising and stuff like that. Company, find us. How about that? That's a good one. And what were the other questions here? Let me pull that up again. If I can find it. There we go. Tell me about your current online strategy and what outcome are you looking for? Okay. Let's get some more input. Tell me a little about your current online strategy. I don't need anything as far as validation, so we'll say company And we'll ask another one, what is the outcome they're looking for? So another user input. Okay, so we got a few more variables there. Just check our mind map. Okay, so we've got their info because we copied that from support. How did you find us? We've asked that. Tell me about your strategy. We've asked that. What outcome we're looking for? We've asked that. So now we need to throw that in a spreadsheet, notify me, and then later on I can send them an email or something and talk about more. So let's go ahead and see if we can get those things plugged in there. Okay, so all this information we want to send to a spreadsheet. Click here, and it says Save to Google Sheets. This is kind of a cool feature. Now you want to make sure you're logged into Google before you click this, and this will make things a lot easier. Save to Google Sheets, and connect. And let's see, it's down here so you can see it. It's asking me to connect to my account. Yes, I want to allow you to look at my stuff. So it's creating a spreadsheet for me. I don't have to do any of that stuff, which is kind of cool. And I can open the sheet now. And if I do, you'll just see that it's kind of a blank sheet. It's got a timestamp, and the name of it is Users from Sales Living Water Digital Bot. So it's going to tell me the timestamp, and since I haven't specified any information to save, it's not got anything in there. So let me go ahead and choose what to save, user attributes. Now, the attributes are these things here that we've asked them questions about, right? So all of them start with company. So I'm going to, again, do the left brackets. Company, I think it already popped up, didn't it? There we go. Let me get their company URL, company email. I don't need to know this one. What else we got here? Company, how did you find us? Company strategy, and company outcome. So all those are the things that I need to know. I should probably get their first name and their last name, so I'll know who to talk to about. All this stuff here, messenger ID, all that kind of stuff, I could get that if I wanted to, but I don't need it, so I'm not going to worry about it. Gender, I don't care what their gender is. There may be some sort of situation where you would care about that, and if so, you're free to use that. So that's all the stuff that I need in my spreadsheet. All right. I don't think I've done anything. I don't know that if I refresh it now, I guess it did. Yeah, it automatically updated, see? And I didn't even have to refresh it. That's pretty fast. I mean, this is like a direct connection to Google Sheets. So now, when everybody goes through that chatbot sequence, what's going to happen is it's going to record the time. It's going to record their information right here. So I can come back to the spreadsheet at any time and go ahead and get the info. And I can put other columns here like follow-up date, stuff like that. I can do all that kind of stuff. Just kind of keep it tracking. I'm not going to do that just this second, but I do want to. Let me do this. Let me copy that email or that link, that URL, and I'm going to create an email to me just to let me know that somebody has filled this out. So send email, and I'm going to say, let's say, sales lead from bot. Send it to me. And what I want in there is just a few little pieces of information. Two of those. So let me get their email and their URL. their first name and their last name. And then I'm just going to paste the sheet here. Paste that up. I copied that from the other. Paste it in there. So now I'll get an email with the link right there that I can just click on and go to. And I won't have to hunt around for the rest of the info. I'll just pull it right up. So, okay, so that bot is pretty well taken care of. But you know, I'm just looking at it here. It doesn't look like it looks like it's going to go boom, 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 boom. I want to kind of humanize it a little bit, maybe give a little personality. So for sales, user input, let's put some text in here before that. Say great, because they just clicked the sales button. Okay, so I got that. I'm going to move that all the way to the top. So my bot seems like it cares, right? There we go. Great, let me get some info. It's going to ask what is your URL. I should probably say thanks or something like that. Slide that up under there. And now it's going to say please share your email address. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and do one of these typing things here. So let me pull this down to 1.2 seconds. How about that? Because it's a pretty big chunk of text there. So let me do this. So it's going to say thanks. It's going to show typing for a second. It's going to ask for their email address. The next one will say how you found us. Say all set. A few more questions. And quick, oops, I don't want a quick reply. Doggone it. Delete that. I just want the typing. There we go. And again, just kind of a short one. All right, so let me move this one up. After how you found us. Let's see, I think it was, wasn't it? No. Let me slide it up one more. Here we go. As you can see, like I said, it's linear. It's going to start here and just go down. What's the URL? Thanks. Show some typing. Ask about their email. All set. Now a few more questions. We'll ask how that you found us. So let me put the typing underneath that. Drag that up there. Okay, so it's going to ask how you found us. And then tell me about your strategy. So let me do a real quick. Cool. So, maybe we ask how you found us. They'll answer. I'll say, cool. Tell me a little bit about your current online strategy. So let's get some more text in there. Just a bit more info. We'll do some more typing. There we go. Well, let's make it a little bit longer. There we go. Okay, so let's pull this up again. There we are, right there. And it's going to do the outcome, so let's put that little typing thing there. Okay. It's going to ask what outcome are you looking for. I should probably get a little info here. say super. We're sending this to Ken right away. Be in touch after he's had a chance to review. Let's say opportunities. That sounds better. Okay. All right. So let's slide this one up there. Okay, so after each little thing, we've got a little bit of input. What outcome you're shooting for? I should probably do another typing thing there. We'll make it 1.4 seconds. Slide it up, slide it up. I'm going to put that before the text. All right, and so then it's going to save it to Sheets. It's going to send me an email, and then I want to send them back to the menu in case they're not done. Click that. Click menu, and that's it for that part of the bot. Okay, so let's test it and see what happens here. Alright, so here's the bot. I am Ken, the helper bot. Type menu if you get lost. Sales. Pause this. Okay, it says, whoops. It says, great, let me get a few pieces of information first. What is your URL? I'm going to say kenid.com. Thanks. Please share your email address. Now see, this is the stuff we copied from the other one, so I don't have to do anything else there. Let's plug that. All set. Now a few more questions. How did you find us? I'm going to say Google search for Super Dude. All right. Cool. Tell me a little about your online strategy. Yada, yada, yada. So they would tell a little bit about, well, we're doing Facebook ads, or we're doing this, or we're doing that, and I would get that information. Great, just a little bit more. What outcome are you shooting for? Viral video superstar. Now they'd probably be more specific, like we'd like to double our Facebook following, or we'd like to increase engagement, or something like that is what they would probably type in. So there we go. Super, we're sending this to Ken right away. He'll be in touch after he's had a chance to review your opportunities. Please select something below. So this is taking us back to the main menu. So the bot has gone through its complete thing. So I should come over here to my spreadsheet. Let's click on that. And refresh it. And okay. So it's got the time that I did it. It collected my name, or my URL, my email address. Company find us was a Google search, and so I can change this, and it's just telling me, I don't want to make sure I don't mess up my spreadsheet. Google search for super something, company strategy was yada yada yada, company outcome, viral video superstar, first name, last name. So all this stuff is stuff that I can come back to later. Now even if I never, even if this doesn't go through, like we talk and they're not ready to do anything, I can always come back to this sheet later and see, what this person wanted at this particular time, and maybe follow up in a couple of weeks or a month or something like that. And I don't have to pay anybody to do that. It's already in my ecosystem here. So this is a way to utilize currently a free tool to build some leads for my business. All right, so let me go back to the dashboard here. We've got our sales done. And let's look at our map again. Okay, so sales is complete. And at that point, Raspberry Mocha time. if I took the time to went ahead and review their info here, I would go to their website, see what they're doing, see what their strategy was, all that kind of stuff, and then I'd probably have some suggestions for them. And so I'd shoot them an email in a day or two or something like that, and say, hey, I got your info, and got a couple of things I want to discuss with you. Let's go grab a raspberry mocha at Jen's Java or Manitowoc Coffee or something like that, and let's talk about it. So that would be kind of the end of the flow there. And if something happens, great. And if it doesn't, I've got their info and we can talk later. Maybe I come up with something else that I can suggest to them later. All right, so sales is done. What is left on our list to do but look into artificial intelligence, which again is not really, artificial, and it's not really intelligence. But we'll talk about a few things here. Live chat. All these things in the thing. These are things you can do in ChatFuel. So far, we pretty much stuck with building the bot here and automate. Live chat, you can use that to kind of, if you have a bot or something like that, you can at some point, based on their answers, send them to a live chat with you. Especially if you've got somebody that's in the office all the time that can take questions and stuff like that. Or if you've got your device with you and you're willing to stop what you're doing and answer questions, that's a great way to handle stuff on the spot in a very timely way. I'm not going to dig into that right now, but feel free. You can click on that and check it out. Set up AI. We kind of want to do that. We've already looked at it a little bit. Menu, main menu, navigation. We'll send them to the menu bot. And we tell them in the welcome message to go ahead and do that. Type menu if you get lost. So our AI is already looking for menu. But you also might want to do some other stuff. A lot of times people will engage with your bot almost as if it's human. And so I'm going to add another one. Let's say somebody says, thanks, or, oops, there we go. We hit enter. There we go. I love this. I'm so happy. Because a lot of times people will do stuff like that. So what do we want to do if somebody does something like that? You could take them to a block and run them through a whole different thing. Or you could have some text. So I'm just going to do text on this one. And I'm going to say, that's fantastic. Stop by and see me another time. And let me see, we'll go back to my Emojipedia thing. Come on, computer. Let's go, let's go. There we go. And let's see what we can find for joy. Tears of joy, cat face with tears of joy. Rolling on the floor laughing. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. So how about happy? Oops. Helps if you can spell it right. How about that? Hugging face. That's a good one. Okay, so click on that. And we'll copy that. Go back to our bot. Oops. There we go. Paste it. I don't want a space in there. There we go. All right. Great. So if somebody types in, thanks, I love this, I'm so happy, whatever. I'll say, that's fantastic. Stop by and see me another time. And that's good. Okay. So, I mean, you could get really involved in here and come up with some complex logic if you wanted to, and pretty much cover anything that anybody would ever type. We don't have time to do all that stuff now. So let's go ahead and just test it, see what happens. Okay, so we're at our main menu here. I could type support, sales, and go through that flow if I wanted to, but I'm just going to say, thanks for your help. It's not exactly what I typed, but maybe the bot will pick it up. Nope, in this case it went back to our default. Okay, you've sent the bot. So let's say, love this. There we go. So that's fantastic. Stop by and see me another time. So you can see it's not perfect. It's not really artificial, and it's not really intelligence, but it works to a degree. And that's that's more than we paid for, right? All right. So that's our AI. Let's go back to our bot for a second. Now you can see it says you can add a sequence or a group. So far I've just created groups to kind of organize our blocks. But you could also, if you wanted to, create a sequence. And a sequence would be a series of messages and or other blocks that you create, much like the bot. And you can set like time limits and stuff like that. So after somebody engages with a bot, it'll automatically give them this text message or send them to a block. After a day or two, whatever time you set, let's say after minutes, after 10 minutes, it'll send them this message. And after, let's say 3 days, it'll send them this message or this block. So you can set this up kind of like an email system. And I'm just going to delete that. We really don't have time to go into all the complexities of that, but just to let you know, the availability is there. It's pretty powerful. You could send them a welcome message and then send them to a series of text and engagement and stuff where you're asking the question, user input, and based on their answers, add them to a sequence, which is kind of like a drip message. It'll send one message now, and it'll send another message in a couple of days. However you set that up. It can be quite complicated, but it's also very effective. So something to look at. Again, we're not going to cover that right now, but we will at some point, maybe in a future webinar. Let's go back to our bot, and let's create a block right here called item for sale. How about that? So I'm going to plug this in. Let me go ahead and upload an image. I'm going to use that. Okay. Horizontal image, that's fine. Let's see, I can do that. Do that, that's about right. Heading is required. Let's say reputation marketing. I don't need a subtitle or description, I don't think. URL, I'll just say google.com. I would probably send them to my product page or something like that. And if the subscriber clicks the button name, let's say subscribe now, it will take them to my buy. So I need to put a price on this. Where are you? Oops, down here. Let's say $3,000. All right. Enter name. I don't need to add that kind of stuff there. Advanced settings. Fallback URL. I'm not going to put any of that stuff in there, but you can see it's there available for you. Now I haven't run the payment setup wizard, so that's just not going to happen. But you can see that you could sell stuff here if you wanted to. So right now, I don't think it is shown, but let me just do an AI real quick. And I'm going to create one that says buy. And then I will send them to item for sale. Now normally you would probably put that in your menu somewhere, so your bot may say, hi, I'm Joe the Helper Bot. Take a look at our offerings, and we'd have this block here. Now I'd add a bunch of other pictures for other stuff I'd have. And you could have multiple galleries. Let's say you sold clothes, and you had men's clothes and you had women's clothes. You could have one gallery for men's clothes, one for women's, and you could send them to that gallery based on what they say their gender is. So that would be one way to handle it. Of course, This is not going to work because I haven't run through the payment wizard, but as you can see, it's pretty easy to sell stuff online. And like I said, I know it accepts Stripe right now. It also accepts Facebook payments. So if you've got those things set up, or not you, but your customer, then they can pay you through that, which is kind of cool. Now, I don't need that. Let's see if I can test it and see what it does. Okay, so there we are. There's my thing, and I said, what did I say I wanted to do? Buy. Like that. And there it goes. It shows me the item, what it is. It's got a product page here if I wanted to send to that, and I can click buy. Please set up enable buy button. Okay. Well, I haven't set any of that stuff up, so it's not going to work. And thank goodness, because I ain't got $3,000 in my pocket right now. Anyway, just to show you how easy it is to do that stuff. So yeah, I want to delete that card. And in fact, I'm going to delete this block because I'm not going to use anything like that. So let me type in delete. They're pretty good about keeping you from accidentally deleting things here. Okay, thanks for joining us. I know we covered a ton of information here. You probably still have questions. Remember, if you miss something or don't quite understand it, you can go back to the video, even right now. Just go back to the beginning or wherever the place was where you got lost and watch it again. There's no limit to how many times you can watch it. And if you have questions, something I didn't cover or maybe didn't explain well or you just didn't get, feel free, send me an email. My information should be like in a box down there below somewhere. So you can let me know what you're doing, what the trouble is, and we'll get you squared away. Hopefully this has helped you. Like I said, if you have any questions or feedback, stuff like that, let me know. My info is right down here. Have a great day.